Well, as you can see, we're working on a Ford E450 Super Duty, doing the preventive maintenance on it. But what we're going to actually be doing is changing the front pads. They're getting down there a little bit. They like to change them before they get down there too far, because the rotors are not cheap for these. So that's what we're doing today, is changing pads. And first thing we're going to do is get her jacked up and secure, and we're going to yank the wheel off. Okay, we got it jacked up and secure. What we're going to do is the hood latch is right over here. Right in there. We're going to go ahead and open the hood up. And prop it up. Take the master cylinder cap off so we can push the plunger back. Next, we're going to take the tire off. Okay, we got the wheel off, as you can see. What you're going to need is a screwdriver, flat screwdriver, 13mm wrench. I like to use a ratchet wrench once I get them loose. This is a gear wrench, and this thing's almost stripped out, and it's not that old either. So we're going to check out gear wrench's warranty. It's supposed to be lifetime, I believe. So, and I didn't think I used it that much. So what we're going to do is go back here. Your caliper bolts are at the top and the bottom. And they shouldn't be real tight. If you have to, hold on to your pins so they don't spin around on you. You're going to take the top one out, then down below is a bottom one. Break it loose. You may have to hold on to the pin on the bottom too. If you have to, use a pair of vice grips to hold it. But normally they come loose. And normally the caliper comes right off. Okay. Got your caliper off, and then all you're going to do is pull your brake pads out, and of course they're going to be stuck in there. So what you're going to need is your flat screwdriver and your hammer. Get a hold of the edge of it. Hit it, and it'll come right off. Now those still have quite a bit of tread on them, but as you can see, they're smooth. And what it is just brake heat, and they're making a heck of a noise. So we're just going to go ahead and replace them. These guys do a lot of start and stopping. So it's best just to replace them. Okay. Now you got your brake pads off. Come up here to your caliper, and something else you want to maybe use here is WD-40. Just spray your plunger boots with WD-40. If you ever watch any of my other videos, I normally always do that because they will crack when you push them back. And just take your old shoe and put it in there. Take your seat clamp, which isn't opened up enough. And just push them back. They should go back fairly easy once they start going back. Do one a few turns, and then go over to the other one, because this is a dual plunger system. You got to push them both back, of course. But do one first and then do the other one, and they'll go right back into place. And if you see something dripping off there, that's the WD-40. Not going to hurt nothing. Don't be afraid it's brake fluid or anything, because normally if you don't use the WD-40, that's what happens. Blows the cups out of it. Okay, we got our plungers pushed back. Now, I've gotten questions on how far the plungers go back on some of these. They're all basically the same. They go flush. They go pretty much flush. They might stick out just a little bit, but not very much. But normally they're always flush. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to take your plungers or your brake pins out, and they just pull out. They got a rubber boot on them, and they just slide back in, and the rubber boot snaps back on. But what I like to do is make sure they're clean, no grime, nothing on them. These ones don't. And take your anti-seize and do each one. And once you get them in there, give them a little spin, get that anti-seize worked around. Pull the bottom one out and do the same thing. And then what this does, it helps the brakes move back and forth. When you press the brake, pushes against the rotor. If these are stuck, it will not let it release. So you got one pad or both pads just kind of riding on the rotor, and it'll warp the rotor and it'll ruin your pads. Okay, next what we're going to do is what I like to do is, because we didn't get new hardware, of course, just take a wire brush and do either one, top and bottom, both sides. Just kind of get that stuff out of there. And then what you're going to do is put a dab of anti-seize in each one of these. And like I said, there's 4 of them. There's one on the back, there's one down here, and there's one on the back side, and on the top, and one on the back side on the bottom. And now we're ready for our new brake shoes. Now in these E450s, there's no difference on these brake pads. They're both the same. There's no difference in them. So you can put one up front, one in the back, doesn't matter how you do it. But they should just slip right down in there and slip right in. And that's how you know pretty much that you got your slides clean and everything all nice and clean, is when they just slide right in there. Now the back one, I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of feeling around here. Yep. I have to get away the camera. Just like that. Now your pads are in. It's a very simple job. Front brakes are very simple. There's really nothing to them. Anybody can do them. And just make sure, if you can't get your caliper on, make sure you got your plungers pushed back flush. Make sure that your slides are pushed back, because if you don't, you see what happens, it'll hit. So what you want to do is make sure you got those pushed back. And then go ahead and put your caliper bolts in. Sometimes it takes a little bit to line them up. But once you get them, you know you got it. Just like that. Like I said, I normally use a ratchet wrench to do this, but it's stripped out. And like I said, I didn't use it very much yet either. I had a pair of Stanleys. Just tighten them up, just like that. I mean, if you bump on it, it's not going to move. You're good to go. But tighten both of them up, same way. And I had a set of Stanleys, and I had those for probably 10 years. And they just finally started going, so I found a good deal on the gear wrench, and apparently I got a set of bad ones, I don't know. Or at least one bad wrench. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is a little trick that I'm going to show you. And there's a reason why I'm going to show you this. Okay, I got the one side done. And what I'm going to do is put the master cylinder cap back on. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to pump my brake pedal up. Sorry about the dinging. I'm going to pump my brake pedal up. When I know I got a good brake pedal, I'm going to come back out here. Get your tire in position. And the reason why I pumped that brake pedal up is so the rotor won't turn. I'm working by myself today. Otherwise, I'd have somebody hold the brake for me. I don't have that luxury. So, I'm going to show you a little trick. Yeah, He-Man. Grab a hold of her and yank her up there. Go ahead. But I can tell you right now, I've done that. And I'll have to show you off camera. But what happened was I ripped a tendon off a bone. Now I only have one tendon. From pulling He-Man stuff. He-Man stuff doesn't get you very far. So what we're going to do is slide our tire back into position. Get our bar underneath the tire. And just pick that tire right up down there. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get it to go. Didn't hurt myself. Work smart, not stupid. Because I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way real quick like. And something else that happened is after I ripped the tendon off the bone, my whole arm turned black and blue the whole way. So I didn't go to the hospital, and then finally I did go to the ER, and they said that black and blue, make sure it keeps moving. Because if not, you'll get a blood clot, and I didn't know that. So you could die from that. All I'm saying is just don't play He-Man. You know, I'm 36 years old. I'm not 20 anymore. And back when I was 20, yeah, heck yeah. But now I screwed myself up, and it's hard to turn screwdrivers, and you'll notice I have to stop sometimes because my hands get tired. Because of that. But that is how you put front pads on a Ford E450. This is a 2013. From 2007 on up, they're basically the same. From there before, I'm not sure. I haven't had much experience with those. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tighten these up. I'm going to show you how to do that. You always do a crisscross pattern. crisscross pattern, sorry that was out of focus. When you do your crisscross pattern, and then after you get them tight enough, you can hammer these down because they're supposed to be 150 foot-pounds. Then you can go around the whole thing once you get them tightened down. But do your crisscross pattern first, and then go around them. After that, use the torque wrench. I like using the torque wrench. Them torque sticks suck. I don't trust them. But I explained that in another video that's going to be uploaded. I changed the wheel hub in a 2004 Stratus, and then after that I showed you how to use the torque wrench. So as you can hear, it's summertime, and there goes the four-wheeler. So, and I got the garage door open. So we'll have to deal with that this summer, I guess. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.